soon. But it's been a really challenging year on that front, and something that we're going to need to spend a lot of time on this winter to really dig in on. And from when we onboard a pitcher, when we draft or trade for him, through the development path at the major league level, obviously it's a problem in the industry. And the injuries that are happening to us, we feel. The injuries that are happening to other teams, we don't feel as much. It doesn't hit home quite the same way. And so we're going to do everything we can to put ourselves in the best position going forward. But obviously all of our focus right now is on doing what we can to finish the regular season strong, be in the best position to go out and win, hopefully 11 games in October.
I'm guessing you already went to an MRI, and what were some of the results from that?
Yeah, I think if you MRI any pitcher's arm in September, they're not pristine. And it's really more symptom-based. It wasn't something that it was like, oh, we need to have surgery. It was, hey, let's let everything calm down. Let's pick back up a ball and see where you're at. And to the extent he comes back and feels good and doesn't have symptoms, then I think we're in a good spot. If he does pick up the ball and have problems, then we're in a tough spot. And so we'll have a much better feel for that once we get back to the throwing phase of where we are.
How disappointed is he about his top thing?
I mean, he's an awesome competitor, and he just wants to be out there. He wants to be out there helping the guys, and he's taken the ball every turn so far this year. Has been a big part of what we've been able to accomplish. He has a great story of someone who struggled some last year. Obviously, the talent level wasn't any different, but went about tweaking his arsenal and had a really good winter and put himself in position to come and win a rotation spot. So, everyone in that room is rooting for him to get back as quickly as possible. And we're going to do everything we can.
How long is he going to be shut down from throwing?
I think like 10-ish days, and we'll just kind of evaluate and see where we're at with strength, symptoms, and go from there.
Obviously, given the calendar, how tight of a window is that for him to be an option for you guys?
I mean, again, I think it's either going to work or it's not. And I could sit here and say I'm really optimistic. We just don't know. And so instead of saying, oh, we're confident in this, we don't really know. But I'm very confident that with our training staff, with Gav, he'll do everything he possibly can to. And so to the extent he's able to pick up a ball and start going, I'm not worried. But we won't know that really until we get there.
How worried are you that there's enough pitching for you guys to get through multiple rounds in October?
I mean, again, I think, looking at our team, big picture, I think this is arguably the deepest, most balanced lineup we've ever had. I think our pen is as deep and talented as I can remember. And right now, we've got to figure out, how to line up our starters, and as guys are coming back, making sure that they get enough workload under their belt to hit October in stride, where we have a chance to look back and say, this was great. This time off for hopefully a long, full month of October ended up being a good thing. And so that's where our mindset is doing everything we can for that to be as we look back at the end of October. But that's certainly an area where we're going to be spending a lot of our focus and attention as we're getting guys back, how we're building them up, making sure we're in as good of a spot as we can be. And then when we get to the off season is when we need to be very thoughtful about studying this more and understanding things more and appreciating what we know, what we don't know, and just reimagining everything to try to put ourselves in a better position, especially relative to the industry going forward.
Where are you with Glasnow? And obviously Yamamoto's pitching tomorrow, but how confident are you that, Tuesday, sorry. How confident are you about Glasnow coming back?
I mean, every day's gotten better. He's still in a pen tomorrow. Obviously, we'll know more after that. He is a guy, obviously, that's really important to our October plans. So is Yamamoto. Both of them directionally are positive, and just each day we're going to continue to build up. And the pen for Glass tomorrow is important, just like when Yamamoto was coming back. His first rehab outing was really important, and then the next. Then both of them, the arrow is pointing up, and so we have to continue to build good day on good day over and over again. We're optimistic at this point that we'll be able to do that.
What about Clayton? What about Clayton?
Still trying to figure out, he's keeping his arm going, which is great, and just still trying to figure out the best way to provide relief, and figuring that out is challenging. There's not a playbook that it's just not common enough where we have, you did X, Y, Z, and then you're good. He's keeping his arm going, and we're continuing to do everything we can. As far as timing, I don't know.
Is that something you need surgery for in the offseason?
It depends on the treatment, but I don't anticipate that. It's more just figuring out how to provide him enough relief to be able to push off and use his lower half, which obviously is really important. Each day is getting better than the last, but we've got to figure out a way for him to throw 90 to 100 pitches in a comfortable enough way, and that's what we're working on.
You've kept your head well above water despite all these injuries. Are you beginning to wonder how much longer you can sustain this? And it's not like you have a huge cushion in the division.
I mean, again, I think we have a really talented team. I think we're competing against really talented teams. We've had a lot of guys step up and provide a jolt to us, and we talk about this a lot. Obviously, a lot of the focus is on the star caliber players on our roster, but we spend a lot of time on the depth of our roster as well, and appreciate that it's going to be important throughout the year. This year feels like even more so than others, which it's funny because obviously you want to have the depth, but not have anyone appreciate that you have the depth because you don't need it. We have needed it, and then some. But guys have stepped up. I mean, Landon Knack has made a number of really impressive starts for us, and now he gets an opportunity to run for a little bit. So there are opportunities that are created from it, and a lot of guys have stepped up, and depth and the guys that we've had come up and fill in have been a big part of helping us be where we are right now.
What have you thought about Walker the last two starts? Is that giving you optimism? He could be one of your guys in October?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this a lot. Even when he was scuffling there for a little bit, his stuff was very similar to where he was in 2021. And, finished, I don't remember, top 5 in the SI. It was just about execution, which gets to the delivery that can be a little bit off, and especially as you're, feeling your body again and going through that normal pitching routine every 5 days, every 6 days. It can just be challenging to execute at the level that he executed before, but knowing that he was capable of it and excelled at it in the past always gave us the confidence that we'd be able to figure it out, and these last two have been really promising on that front. His ability to mix pitches and execute have been a huge part of why he's pitched so well, and we're really excited about where he's at.
Andrew, when you talk about reevaluating just the development of pitchers, do you feel like there's been too much of an emphasis put on trying to reach the maximum velocity, the maximum spin rate? Is that part of, is that fair, a blanket statement of that's what pitchers have been chasing?
I mean, this is a much longer conversation that we should probably do when it's not 110, and probably in the off season. And I think a lot of this starts at the youth level, and it's a little bit circular from amateur players thinking what major league teams want and trying to seek that at a point either with not the right instruction or too young with growth plates still open. There are a lot of factors But then we can't control that, or at least I cannot. The Dodgers cannot. And it's really about understanding, all right, when we're onboarding a guy. And the one thing I know for sure is there's no one-size-fits-all approach. And it's how to really be able to individualize how we bring pitchers along. And it's getting to know how they recover, and things that we've been trying to track and know. I mean, I can't imagine there's a team that has their guys go on extra rest more than us. Like looking at bullpen usage, we're near the more near the top in terms of being conservative. That's not helping in terms of staving off injuries. And so all of this we need to reevaluate and be thoughtful about and acknowledge and appreciate what we don't know. There's some we know and there's a lot we don't know. And just do everything we can to more thoughtfully create this individualized program. And we've started some. It's hard when we're going through a regular season and the volume of games, but we'll put together a group and be really thoughtful about it this off season and rethink some of how we bring our pitchers along and bet that it will be anywhere from somewhat productive to incredibly productive. I'm hoping for the more incredibly productive.
Thanks.
All right, thank you guys.